25. The 30 breaks out at the 35 and is on the far sideline at the 38-yard line. Ken Green, the reserve safety man, made the play. So a fine return on the part of Walker. He's averaging 23 yards a return on kickoffs, and he does an excellent job here.
Cleveland special teams did a great job there. He really only had one way he could take it back up the field, and that was down the left side, and they cleared the way for him.
Ryan Sipe at quarterback. Pruitt is in the backfield, number 43. Logan and Jones, the wide receivers. The pitch back coming to Pruitt. Doing a little skating on that infield dirt. Back to the line of scrimmage. Gil Bird, 22, made the tackle. Babb, 61, is at the center. And it's Jackson, 68, Delamalore, 64 at the guards, and Deacon, 73, and Risen, 63 at the tackles. The Chargers with Ferguson and Johnson, 76 and 79 at the ends. Green, 58, Smith, 54 inside. King, 57, and Lowe, 51 outside. Elko is the noseman, number 90. Bird and Walters. Greger and Fox are in the secondary. Second down. Pruitt again to the 42-yard line. Pruitt getting a workout here this afternoon at Jack Murphy Stadium.
Pick up of 3 yards.
Billy Ray Smith
on the
made the tackle.
51.
You know, Cleveland's offensive line has been doing a great job. Here's Doug Deacon on Gary Johnson. You know, Cleveland has, I know that this offensive line of Cleveland is well fed, Jay. They have a deal where they contribute fines. They collected $600 worth of fines, and Deacon took them all out to dinner the other night, and the restaurant told them they could eat whatever they wanted for $600, and they had 90 dozen oysters and 160 pounds of crab.
Straight back on third down. Sipe throws. Penalty marker goes down as Pruitt has enough yardage for the first down. Woody Lowe, 51, made the tackle, but we'll see what the penalty marker is. You heard some applause a moment ago as we had a shot of Wes Chandler returning to the field. And the call is going to go against Cleveland. Talking about Doug Deacon, 172nd regular season game for the 12-year veteran from Illinois. Let's listen in to referee Bob Frederick here.
Illegal use of the hands on the offense, number 61.
Call went against Mike Babb, who is now starting, the second-year man from Texas. Now we've got 3 wide receivers in there for the Browns. Adams, 80, and Logan, 85, and Jones, 89, with just Dwight Walker, 42, in the backfield. The Chargers going into a prevent defense. There's Chandler. You remember he had a tooth go through his lip. They had to sew it up. You see some blood there on his jersey. But he's right back and ready, I guess. They're spread out on third down and 16. And Sipe's got lots of time. He throws, and it's complete to Logan. Logan's got a first down at the 46-yard line. Time and time again today, Sipe has gone to Newsom or Logan when he really needed the big play. Bob Greger, 43. Danny Walters, 23 on the tackle.
That was a tough catch by Logan. He had the defensive back, Gil Bird, in that dirt area right there. Caught it right in between the seams. We can see Logan coming down the field. And we'll see a little bit of slip here. It's a very difficult area like we had mentioned before. You see him sliding into his route. Well, Gil Bird was doing the same thing. And Gil Bird was in front of him, and Danny Walters was behind him, and it's a tough area to cover.
First down at the 46. Pruitt gets the call again, and he's into the 43-yard line. Gary Johnson, number 79, made the play. They tried to rip the ball out of there, and one of the Chargers is injured. One of the Chargers down at the 42-yard line. Rick McDonald, Larry Roberts, the training crew out there with one of the medics. And it appears to be Tim Fox. That's right, number 48, the 8-year man from Ohio State. And a penalty now against the San Diego Chargers for unsportsmanlike.
Number 76 for spearing.
Spearing against Keith Ferguson, number 76. Oh, that'll be a first down for the Browns when we come back. We have 12 and a half minutes to play in the third quarter. The Browns are leading the Chargers 14-10. Rob, the right of the screen, I think we see the spearing here.
Yeah, you see Keith Ferguson coming in right here. You know, 3 things can happen when you spear. You can hurt the guy you're hitting, you can hurt yourself, or you can hurt one of your teammates, and I think that's what may have happened to Tim Fox there.
The Fox is out of the game. Ken Green, 28, replaces him. First down, 10 at the 27-yard line, and Sipe wants to go upstairs, and he throws, and it is a touchdown! Bobby Jones! Oh, what a beautiful throw! Brian Sipe to Bobby Jones for the score. He beat Danny Walters, the rookie. 27-yard touchdown pass.
What you're seeing is San Diego just saw their own offense thrown right at him. Fouts took a pre-snap look, looked over there, saw Danny Walters on the outside shade of Bobby Jones, and all he does is run that seam. There's no moves, there's nothing. He has the position from the onset of the route. You can see him coming off here. He breaks inside, and there's really not much the defensive back can do if Sipe has the time. Timed
his jump perfectly. The point after by Matt Barr is up, and it is good. And the Browns have struck quickly with 12:24 left to play in the third quarter. Cleveland leads San Diego 21-10. Sam Ritigliano, who toiled for 11 seasons as an assistant coach in the NFL, now the head man of the Browns. Brooks is back to receive this kick. A low liner coming down, and Brooks trying to pick it up at the 5. Gets it. He's at the 10, the 15, out at the 20, and out of bounds at the 23-yard line. Tim Straka, the tight end, the rookie from Wisconsin, made the play. 12:14 to go in the third quarter. Look at that last touchdown one more time, Bob. That was a fine catch.
It really was. See, you can see him as he's going down there. He really doesn't make a move. He has the inside shade on Danny Walters, and he just makes the slant. Sipe threw a great pass, and Jones made a good catch. He timed his jump perfectly.
Wes Chandler, number 89, is back in the game. He and Joyner, the wide receivers. Fouts fakes and hands and holds and throws, and it is Winslow. Winslow getting to the 27-yard line, and some heavy hitting by Rod Perry, number 40. Winslow, along with Eric Sievers, 85 in the game. They have Masick up front, 62, with McKnight 60 and White 67 at the guards, and Billy Shields 66 and 75. Andy Gissinger from Parma, Ohio, big number 75, the big blonde from Syracuse. Second down and 7 from the 28. And off to Muncie. And Muncie is through across to the 32-yard line, where Cousineau, number 50, wraps it up.
San Diego has to fire it up here. They've been playing a little conservative, I think. You know, they've been playing what we talked about earlier, that lateral game. And if you give Cleveland the confidence to think that they can cover these receivers without sending them deep once in a while, to show them that they're willing to do that, they're going to start playing better and better and feeling like they can handle San Diego's receivers. And the receivers are so talented that you got to let them go down the field once in a while.
Larry Brazil, 47, and Lawrence Johnson, 48 in the secondary now. Penalty markers down. The Chargers have a free play, and it's caught down the sideline beautifully. That's Wes Chandler getting a big hand. He was step for step with Lawrence Johnson. As we mentioned, there's a penalty flag. I think the Browns were offside.
Defense, number 79 was offside. Refused.
It'll be a first down. Bob Golick was offside. Another look.
Well, Fouts, I think, was listening to me here. This isn't down the field as much as I'd like to see, but it's a great job of concentration by Wes Chandler here. He almost even pushes off a little bit. He maneuvers, but that gets into that area where it's incidental contact and by both players who are going for the ball.
Chandler was the top NFL receiver in yardage last season. Fouts going to go again, and he overthrows his intended receiver, Kellen Winslow. He had Winslow open. Clarence Scott back there on the coverage, number 22. Fouts came in third in the AFC today as Winslow comes back into the huddle. Fouts had completed 58 of 102 for 951 yards. There's Scott, played at Kansas State. Clarence Scott, 13th year. He has 38 career interceptions. It's going to be second down for the Chargers. The ball at the Brown 40-yard line. 10:40 to go, third quarter. Browns leading 21-10. Fouts again, lots of time. Winslow again. Winslow at the 27-yard line, hit immediately by Hanford Dixon. Dixon, number 29, had some help from number 57, Clay Matthews. An isolated view of Winslow.
yards.
If you let Cleveland get off the line like that without obstructing him whatsoever, it's too tough to get him downfield. Once he gets ahead of steam going, if you're going to stop him, Cleveland has to start beating him up at the line of scrimmage.
1st and 10 at the 27-yard line. And up the middle, James Brooks. Brooks to the 25.
Ball carrier, number 21, James
Clay
Brooks.
Matthews, number 57 on the tackle. Got some help from 99, Keith Baldwin, 50, Tom Cousineau. A gain of about 2 on the play.
That's probably the strength of Cleveland's defense, is that core of linebackers they have. They're all active. They feel that they're very tough guys, and they're still relatively young, maybe with the exception of Dick Ambrose, who's been around for a few years. But they're learning and they're improving every year.
Fouts 12 for 19. As Chandler to his right, Joyner to his left. Throwing for Chandler, and he caught it! Oh my goodness, touchdown, San Diego! '25-yard touchdown play, a remarkable catch by Wes Chandler.
That's a great catch by Wes. But you know, there's a thing here that Fouts does also. I sound like I'm on his bandwagon. But Wes Chandler was actually covered pretty well there by Rod Perry. And Fouts throws it at the defensive back's back. He threw a line shot. He didn't lift it up into the air. It gave Wes Chandler a little bit of an opportunity to come back inside the defensive back, which is Perry here, and make the catch. And it's just a great effort by Wes Chandler. He comes up with those kind of catches weekly.
Low pass from center, but Benershka gets a hold from Luther and got it up and through. 9 minutes and 25 seconds left to play in the 3rd quarter. 21-17. Cleveland. NBC Sports happy to be with you from Jack Murphy Stadium. Rolf Benershka will put it in play. Dwight Walker is set to receive. A high kick from Benershka this time, and that's Walker at the 3, at the 15. At the 20, at the 25, penalty marker thrown. Carlos Bradley, 3rd-year man from Wake Forest, number 50 on the specialty unit, made the tackle. And let's see what the call is here. The veteran referee Bob Frederick and his crew policing the action here this afternoon. The Chargers have come right back here. It was 14-10 at halftime. Going to go against Cleveland. 21-17 now. Don Coryell. 2 division titles at St. Louis. 5 years there. His teams won 42, lost 27, tied 1. Put the ball back at the 10.
Illegal block. Number 51 on the kick return team. 1st down.
Call went against Eddie Johnson, the 3rd-year linebacker for the Browns. Played at Louisville, and Sam Ratigliano's club is back at the 10-yard line. Out over the ball, Mike Babb, number 5 draft choice out of Texas. Logan to the far side. Jones to the near side. In motion, Ozzie Newsome. Out it comes to Pruitt. Pruitt gets 1 block and gets about 5. A lot of movement there. They set up a little screen right. Lyndon King, 57 on the tackle. That was some drive a moment ago by the Chargers. They
Probably.
I was going to say they went 75 yards in 7 plays. The big play to Chandler.
There's probably no team in the National Football League that relies on a single player as much as San Diego does Fouts. And it really came down to Fouts getting hot and doing his job, which he's doing right now.
Joe DeLamielleure leaving the game, number 64 on the far sideline. And Tom DeLeon comes in to play center, and Mike Babb will go to right guard. DeLeon, the 12-year veteran from Ohio State. Another penalty marker as Pruitt carried the football to the 18-yard line. Woody Lowe, number 51 on the tackle. They'll discuss it, and it's offside against San Diego. You visited with DeLamielleure, who went out under his own power and is over on the far side last night, Bob.
He's a good friend of mine. He said an interesting thing. I read a quote from him this week. He said he's definitely considered a blue-collar guy. I'll finish that story here in a second.
Defense, number 76 was offside.
Call went against Keith Ferguson. Go ahead.
Okay, he said he's definitely a blue-collar guy. He was born in Detroit, drafted by Buffalo, and traded to Cleveland. He said his only fear now is that Gary, Indiana is going to get the next NFL franchise.
Gary, Indiana. You know whose hometown that is, don't you? Hank Strand.
Is that right?
Yes, sir. At the 20, 1st and 10. Davis and Pruitt in the backfield. That's Jones going in motion. Penalty markers down as Pruitt got the pitch. And we'll see what the call is here.
False start. 63 in the offense.
Cody Rison, a false start on the 5-year man from Texas A&M. You know, just realized, Bob, as we look out here at this field with 8 minutes and 20 seconds remaining to be played in the 3rd quarter, we've not seen a punt today.
No, we haven't. I didn't even think about that. Either says that we're looking at 2 real strong offenses or 2 real weak defenses.
Depends on your point of view, sir. 21-17, the Browns. 1st and 15 for them. Logan to the far sideline. Jones to the near side. Sipe going to put it up. Throws to the far side. Logan can't handle it. Logan was double covered. Woody Lowe was closest to him, number 50. Danny Walters, 23, over there also. Walters, quite a story, number 23, a running back and wide receiver in his college days. Let's go to New York for an update. All right, and quite a story. Allegre earlier had missed an extra point that got his club into problems, and now he wins it. Here it is 21-17. DeLamalure is back in. Sipe going to the air downfield, and it is incomplete. Intending for Bobby Jones, the coverage by the rookie Gil Bird.
Covering on the play for the Chargers, number 22, Gil Bird.
There's Bird. Excellent job there.
Yeah, he really did do an excellent job. He had Bobby Jones man-to-man. He ran a little corner route up in the top of your screen there. And Gilbert just got a hand in at the last moment. There you see him coming in, yeah. There it is. Just enough to throw Bobby off a little bit.
Well, here's a big 3rd down conversion coming up for Cleveland. They've been 6 out of 6 today, but they're facing a tough one now. 3rd and 15, deep in their own territory. Willis Adams, David Logan, and Bob Jones, all 3 wide receivers in there. Over the middle, the ball was tipped. Ball was tipped. They were trying to get it to Adams. And this crowd beginning to warm up to the situation as we're going to get our first punt. Let's look again.
He read a safety blitz here and just tried to hit a little adjust pattern to Willis Adams, who is supposed to read the same thing and run an adjustment route. And somewhere along the line, they didn't connect there.
Jeff Gossett to do the punting. He came from Kansas City, replacing Steve Cox, of course, who had the surgery. 41.3 average. James Brooks, number 21, downfield to receive. Kicks away. A high boomer. Brooks coming up at the 41. And stepped out of bounds at the 45-yard line, maybe the 46. A 44-yard punt by Gossett. Timeout is called with 7:55 remaining in the 3rd quarter. The Browns lead it 21-17. Rams and the Jets in the 2nd period tied up 14-14. 1st and 10 for the Chargers. And Fouts on 1st down. Rush set up a little screen. Out it comes to Muncie at midfield. Muncie to the 40. Down to the 36-yard line and a 1st down. Clarence Scott, number 22. Dick Ambrose, number 52, on the tackle. A very well-designed play, as the coaches would say.
It sure was, and it was executed perfectly, Jay. Fouts looks downfield, drops back like it's a regular pass, and throws the short screen out to Muncie in the flat. He gets good blocking and then really does the rest on his own, and it's interesting to see him try and cover up the ball there.
1st down at the 37. Fouts handing it to Muncy. Muncy puts his head down, got in across the 35. There's a fumble. First time the ball has been mishandled today, and the Chargers get it back. Reggie Camp, 96, and Dick Ambrose, 52, hit in there, dislodged the ball, but getting up off the pile with it, Chuck Muncy. He held on.
You know, there's a lot of fumbles this year, and I don't think that it's because ball carriers are not holding the ball tight there where Muncy got hit and the ball popped out. But teams are teaching their players to strip the ball. And when a good back runs the ball, usually one man doesn't bring him down. It takes 2 or 3. So that second and third men go for the ball.
Second down and 7 at the 34-yard line. Prevent defense for the Browns. And Fouts is going to throw. Got all day. All day, and now he throws, and it is complete. Touchdown! Chandler again. First time that the Chargers have had the lead since the first quarter. 34-yard play.
It doesn't look like the hole in his lip bothered him a bit here, Jay. I have no idea what he was trying to do originally. Fouts had so much time, though, that I'm sure Wes Chandler improvised on his pattern, ended up coming across the field. Fouts picked him out, and he did his thing right there, which is getting into the end zone.
Beat Lawrence Johnson on the play. Some great ad-libbing by Wes Chandler. And the point after by Benershka. 6:17 left to play in the third quarter. And the Chargers have the lead 24-21. Jay Randolph with Bob Chandler. Boy, oh boy, what a show another Chandler's putting on here.
He really is. You know, and another interesting thing, it's the first time I've seen the crowd, these last 2 touchdowns, get involved. And they're such a big factor playing here. If they stay up, it's going to be tough for Cleveland.
Benershka kicking off. That is Walker. And penalty markers go down. There might have been a clip there. Al Gross down there for the Browns. And it's going to go against Cleveland. And it might have been Gross. There's Chandler, all taped up. 2 big TDs here in the third quarter. Let's pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC Television Network.
This is WKYC TV3 in Cleveland.
An illegal block. Sam Rutigliano. With Denver, New England, the Jets, New Orleans before he took over at Cleveland. His club now down 24-21 and backed up after the penalty back to their own 8-yard line. Jones and Logan split to the left side there. Pruitt stops at the 5, and this crowd, Bob Chandler, as you mentioned it, is really getting with it. Keith Ferguson, number 76, made the tackle. Washington leading Seattle 20-10 at halftime. San Francisco and Atlanta are in the third period. San Francisco leading 14-13.
It's amazing the impact a crowd can have on the players. And when you're playing at home like this, it really does fire them up. You know, you think that because you're in professional football that that's not a big factor. That's more of a college thing. But the players really feel that. And San Diego is getting fired up defensively here.
Again, Jones and Logan are set to the left. Sipe has lots of time. He throws it. Incomplete. Mike Pruitt dropped it. He would have had a first down along the sideline. Gil Bird was playing very soft on him. He had running room up the sideline that would have gotten him a first down. You won't see Pruitt drop a ball like that very often.
This is probably the hardest catch any kind, whether he's a running back or receiver, can make when you're wide open. He saw the ball coming, he had to wait for it, and he started to just turn and run a little bit, especially having that running mentality that a running back has. He wants to catch the ball and turn it into a big play.
Bill Elko comes out of the lineup for the Chargers, and they send Leroy Jones in, number 68. Jones was re-signed this week. He's a good pass rusher, and he's in there on 3rd down 13. Sipe from the end zone, throwing incomplete. Ball was tipped. Penalty markers down. Mike Green got a hand on it, I believe. We've got a penalty marker down and a discussion. And you can see this crowd, many of them standing here in the sunshine, really getting involved. The field judge, the head linesman, and referee Bob Frederick in a discussion. The head linesman is Jerry Bergman. The field judge is Don Hakes.
The flag will be picked up. There is no foul after discussion.
No foul. That is known as an inadvertent flag.
The reason that there was no pass interference is that the ball was touched by a defensive man.
And we just showed it to you. So now another tough spot for the veteran Jeff Gossett. Gossett from Eastern Illinois, a third-year man, back right up on the back line. James Brooks downfield to receive only the second punt of this game. Gossett, a high spiral, a dandy, back at the 46-yard line. Brooks going the wrong way. 48-yard punt, penalty markers go down. He got it up near the 45-yard line of the Browns. As we mentioned, penalty flags are down. Gossett, another clutch punt out of there, 48-yarder.
There is a penalty flag on the play.
Clipping against San Diego. Officially a 49-yard punt. And then you're going to tack this penalty on, and the Browns got out of there in pretty good shape.
It was a real close call here. We're going to hear it.
Personal foul, a clip on the kick return team, number 22, first down and 10.
Watch the left of your screen, the rookie Gil Bird, number 22. Right there.
It was close. He was coming. It was a high-speed collision. It looked to me from here like he almost got his head in front. We couldn't see it all, but it was a close call.
Give to Muncie. And Muncie is ridden out of bounds. A loss on the play. Cousineau 50. Hanford Dixon 29 on the tackle. And Muncie shaken up on the play. Now we have this timeout. Let's remind you that next Saturday you'll start the day with the Major League Baseball and Inside Look. Playoffs come your way this year on NBC Sports. Fouts in a crowd, completing it to Winslow. First down at the 47-yard line. Mike Whitwell, number 21, the free safety, making the play. Bob, we've said it now time and time again in this second half. You give that man 14 on his back, Dan Fouts, enough time, he's going to tear you apart, and that's what's happening. What's happened to the pass rush from Cleveland?
Well, they're talking about a lethal combination here, like you said. Fouts with time and Winslow running free downfield. And unless Cleveland starts doing something to get at Fouts, which we talked about earlier in the game, he can't have a free hand like that.
That's Sievers coming in motion. Brooks gets the pitch, and back to the line of scrimmage is all he gets as Hanford Dixon, number 29, came up from the cornerback spot and made the tackle. This is the 9th game in this series. San Diego has won the last 3 to lead at 5-2-1. This is the Browns' first trip here since '77 when they were beaten 37-14 here. San Diego has won 2 of the 3 games that have been played here in Jack Murphy Stadium over the years. They're leading at 24-21. 3.5 to go, third quarter. Fouts throws. It's caught. Wes Chandler steps out of bounds. Chandler, with those fluid moves, Rod Perry, number 40, ran him out over there. Chandler came here from New Orleans in a trade.
11 yards.
Nothing really special here. It's just a rounded off out, but what it does is it sets up things for later in the game. He's gone deep on Rod Perry once today for a touchdown. Rod Perry has to be a little bit leery of that, and as good as he is as a defensive back, he has to give him some room, and if it's the room's there, Fouts and Wes Chandler are going to take it.
Darrell Goforth, number 69, has replaced Ed White at right guard for the Chargers. Fouts getting it out. Brooks at the 30, down to the 29-yard line. Clay Matthews, number 57, on the tackle. We get word that Muncie has just got a bit of a bruised rib problem. He probably will see some more action. DeLamalure, who went out earlier and, of course, returned, had leg cramps. We got that report. Severs has the broken nose and is playing with it. Playing pretty good, too. Wide to the right goes Joyner. Chandler comes to the left side. 2nd down and 3 at the 28. They might go for a bomb here. Nope, they're going to go for the first down. Brooks has got it with plenty to spare. Hanford Dixon, number 29. Let's go now to NFL 83 for this update. All right, thank you very much. It's a tough game, isn't it? They're dropping by the wayside. They're dropping by the wayside. San Diego's 8 first down in this quarter. They had only 10 in the entire first half. Fouts. Out comes to Brooks. Brooks cuts in. Penalty marker goes down. Brooks got to the 15-yard line. Brooks, who played at Auburn, his club get back on track, beating Tennessee yesterday before 90,000 in Knoxville. And now the discussion on the penalty. We have 1:58 to go, third quarter. The Browns led 14-10 at half. 14 points here in the third period for the Chargers, 7 for the Browns to take a 24-21 lead. Bob Frederick marching it off against the Chargers. Takes the ball back out to the 31-yard line.
Offensive holding on 18 will be declined. Offensive holding on number 69 will be accepted.
Call went against Darrell Goforth. We told you he is in the ball game replacing White at right guard. Goforth, number 69, a 7-year man from Oklahoma State, traded here from Green Bay. 1st and 20 back at the 31. Fouts straight back. Sets it out. Drop. Chuck Muncie had it come right off his fingertips. Muncie had caught 5 passes coming into today's game. Sam Ritigliano, the Browns' 6th head coach, now in his 6th season. Sam, on occasion, has worked as a consultant to NBC when he was an assistant for many years in playoffs. There's Don Coryell on the left of your screen. His pro coaching career, 93 victories, 57 defeats, and 1 tie. Prevent defense, and Fouts steps out and throws, and it is incomplete. Eric Severs couldn't hold on. 2 of the Browns were right there, Whitwell and Johnson, 21 and 48.
Covering for the Browns, number 21.
It's going to bring up 3rd down.
Here we see how Dan gets in trouble occasionally. He's a pocket quarterback. He likes to sit in that pocket. When he scrambles, it takes his timing away from him, and he's out of his normal rhythm. And every once in a while, in those situations, he'll throw a ball up.
You ran into him many years ago when he was just a youngster, didn't you?
Yeah, he was a ball boy. He came up to me and said he was going to, at the East-West Shrine game, said he was going to play pro ball someday. And I said, yeah, kid, isn't everybody?
You played catch with him. Roger Carr, number 81, is in there. Chandler's in there. Duckworth's in there. Joyner's in there. The throw is batted down. Well, they had all the firepower out on the field that time, but Elvis Franks, playing the right end spot, number 94, came in and got a hand on it. He was playing in there at the right end slot for Keith Baldwin. There he is, Elvis, a 5th-round draft choice now in his 4th year out of Morgan State. He is into karate very much in the off-season.
Well, this is the way definitely to stop Dan Fouts, by getting a hand up in his face. They haven't been able to do that most of the afternoon, and that's the first time I think that that they've really gotten to him where it affected his passing.
Manershka off the dirt, attempting a 49-yarder. Driving it downfield, it is no good.
A 49-yard
As
field
we
goal
mentioned
try
earlier,
by
very
Mark
tough off that
Is short.
skinned infield portion for the kickers. Clock stopped with 1:36 to go in the third quarter. Next Sunday at 12 Eastern Time, NFL 83 kicks us off. We'll look at Marcus Allen. He's something special. And then you'll see the Raiders against the Redskins and Johnny Riggins. The Seahawks against the Browns. Houston at Pittsburgh. Denver at Chicago. Baltimore at Cincinnati. A couple of exciting late games. Miami at New Orleans. San Diego Chargers at the Meadowlands to take on the Giants. Check your local listings for the games and times in your area. Brian Sipe gets it out to Pruitt. Pruitt's over the 30. He gets to the 35-yard line. Stop made by Mike Green, number 58. Clock running with 1:20 left to play in the third quarter. The Chargers have taken the lead here in this period. They have a 24-21 advantage. Sipe now will try to rally the Browns. Cleveland bunch coming in here after victories over Detroit and Cincinnati. And after a couple of extra days of rest. You remember they last played on Thursday, the 15th of September, when they beat Cincinnati 17-7. Logan to the far sideline. Sipe 16 out of 23. Pruitt across the 40 to the 43-yard line. Ken Green, playing for the injured Tim Fox at free safety, made the tackle. Pruitt's longest run from scrimmage this year has been 17 yards. As we look at
playing with that two tight end offense, it gives them a pretty balanced look up in that offensive line. Pruitt, they give him the ball deep. They let him cut and choose and pick his holes there. He does a lot on his own, as we've seen today.
running straight ahead there and then just turning and sidestepping his way by. Logan comes to the near sideline. 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line. Folks here starting to yell for the defense to play up a storm. Blitz. Down he goes. Woody Lowe from the right outside linebacker spot. Blitzing across to take down Brian Sipe.
Well, this is the kind of defensive maneuvers and plays that make your secondary look real good. And that's when you get to the quarterback. Something San Diego hasn't been able to do a lot this year. That's why their young defensive backs have taken so much heat. If they get a few more of those kind of plays, they're going to start saying some real good things about those defensive backs.
We're at the end of the third quarter. The Chargers lead 24-21. Back. A sunny Sunday afternoon in San Diego. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are around the country with Bob Chandler, Jay Randolph. 24-21, the Chargers. 2nd down and 20 from their own 33 for the Browns. Brian Sipe throwing long downfield for Logan. Couldn't get there. Logan had a step on Gilbert. The pass just overthrown. Penalty marker down. Holding against Cleveland going to be called. Brian Sipe got to be a little upset with the fact that he got the holding call here. Also that he couldn't quite put that one on consignment.
Offensive holding, number 61, declined, 3rd down.
Call went against Mike Babb, the center for the Browns, and it'll be 3rd down. And the Browns need a big play. The third period statistics. Third and 21. They're blitzing, and down he goes. Number 57, Lyndon King, the left outside linebacker, was coming. Nobody picked him up. And this defensive unit has gambled twice on the blitz here in the last minute and made it pay off.
That really was a great call by Tom Bass and the San Diego Charger defense. Here you're in a situation where Cleveland has to pick up. You see Sipe dropping back. They have to pick up 20 yards. So usually what a defensive team will do is go into a zone defense, let them have the underneath passing routes, and say pick up 10 or 15 yards. San Diego did the opposite, and they went after him and played man-to-man coverage in the defensive backfield.
Gossett ready to punt. James Brooks is downfield. A high wobbly kick coming to the near sideline and taking a good bounce for the Browns all the way down inside the 25-yard line down to the 24-yard line. The Browns have had to punt in their last 3 possessions. They'll be back with more. 24-21 San Diego. Thank you, Len Berman. Well, Mr. Sipe has had his problems here with a swarming blitzing defense in recent moments, and the Chargers 1st and 10 from the 24. Sipe throws it out to Muncy. Muncy over the 30-yard line, very close to a first down, as Cousineau 50 and Ambrose 52 made the stop.
Both teams are pretty intent on putting pressure on the quarterback, and I think that's why we've seen Cleveland and San Diego go to that short screen so much today. They get the lineman rushing upfield, at least one backer doing some kind of a stunt, and that really is ideal conditions to use that short screen.
Just short of the first down. It'll be 2nd down and 1. Chargers leading it 24-21. That's Muncy. He's got the first down. Piled up by Ambrose, 52, Cousineau 50. Bob, you know, you think back on this one, I know Cleveland fans are thinking about it. 5 seconds left, first half. Ball at the half-yard line. Cleveland went for touchdown, came up empty. 24-21 right now.
Well, he came up empty, but I agreed with the call. It's like you've got to try and get 7 when you have that opportunity. To take 3 against San Diego, you're really taking 3 and then giving up 7 once they have the ball, and so you're losing points in that kind of a situation.
Browns Reggie Camp, number 96, the rookie from California, jumped off sides.
Sam Ratigliano said to us earlier in our interview that he has to score points, and I think he was sticking with his philosophy there. It didn't work, and so it's easy to second guess him now, but I think it was the right decision at the time.
I'm not going to second guess him, but it might come back to haunt him. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, it's doing that right now.
Coachman, defense number 96.
Number 96, Reggie Camp. Ball at the 40-yard line, 1st and 5. 13:23 to play. Fouts, 20 out of 29, 3 touchdowns. Has not thrown an interception yet today. Muncy on the run, 1st down. Into the Browns territory at the 47-yard line. Whitwell, 21, ran him out with help from Cousineau, number 50.
Mike Whitwell.
Here we have Muncy just coming off tackle. Eric Sievers throws a great block out here. Really opens the way. Ed White, likewise. It opens up a hole big enough for a truck to go through, let alone Muncy.
Muncy with 48 yards. He had 220 coming into today. He had his best day ever against Cleveland in '81, 161-yard day in September of '81. That's Brooks. And Brooks brought down right along the line of scrimmage. Clay Matthews, number 57, on the tackle.
San Diego has to stick with what I think they do best. Now, Cleveland can come back and score on you, so San Diego has to still be concerned about putting points on the board. They seem to be running the ball a little bit more here and kind of buckling up their belt a little bit and playing a little tighter to the vest.
We're seeing ground Coryell rather than air Coryell at this point.
I think Air Coryell's a little bit more exciting.
Oh, no question about it, and they do it here in San Diego. Here's Fouts. Down the sideline. Eric Sievers. Oh, he couldn't make the catch. Coverage by Clay Matthews, the linebacker. Sievers isolated out there with the linebacker, number 57.
That's the situation you look for. I think Fouts is listening to us when we talk about putting it up, because every time we say it, he does that. But Eric Sievers, when you can get, even Clay Matthews is a quick, good young linebacker, but running and trying to cover a tight end is something that they don't relish themselves.
Elvis Franks of the Browns, number 94, playing at right end, putting a little pressure on that time. The Browns are in their prevent defense. 3rd down and 9. receivers going in motion. Fouts over the middle. There's Winslow and a first down, and he breaks away and gets more. Kellen Winslow. Larry Brazil on the tackle.
They're really doubling up Kellen. All three receivers were doubled on that play. Larry Brazil took Kellen at the line of scrimmage and didn't really hold him up. He tried to run with him. Fouts saw what he was doing. Here you see Fouts dropping back. Hit Kellen after he broke away from Brazil and in front of Mike Whitwell. And he shows you what 250 pounds can do to a 190-pound defensive back.
It was 5 years ago that the Browns had a chance to pick up Kellen Winslow and didn't in the draft. You remember that story?
That's right. They got Ozzie Newsome, though, so it wasn't too bad a deal.
1st and 10 at the 18-yard line. The pitch back to Brooks. And Brooks fights his way to the 16-yard line. Time for another update. Let's go to NFL 83.
All right, Jay, the undefeated Raiders appear unstoppable in Denver. Plunkett. There he goes to Branch for his second touchdown of the day. It's now 20-0 Los Angeles. Back to Jay and Bob.
Thank you, Len Berman. Len Berman documenting the activities this afternoon all over the league. Here, 24-21. The Chargers leading. Chargers trying to get more and control things here in the fourth quarter. Fouts steps up, throws. Nobody over there. Nobody within, 25 yards of that throw, and Fouts took quite a shot from Elvis Frank's number 94.
It was a questionable throw. I think Dan was getting rid of the ball, but he paid a price for it. What happened was Charlie Joyner came in short motion and was going to run that crossing route where Fouts ended up throwing the ball, but Charlie slipped, got knocked down.
Fouts is 21 out of 32 for 315 yards, 3 touchdowns.
I think he regularly throws over 300 yards, doesn't he?
A fellow that really makes it happen. 3rd down and 8 now. Big play here. In motion, Wes Chandler. And Fouts swings it out. It is dropped by James Brooks. That'll bring the field goal kicking unit on. Still a lot of time. 11 and a half minutes to play. A lifetime in this game, isn't it?
It sure is. And, especially when you're looking at these two kind of teams that can score so quickly.
Barnushka will get to kick off the grass this time, what there is of it. But his last try, 49-yarder, was off the skinned infield. Ed Luther does the holding for him. The ball will be spotted at the 24, a 34-yard field goal. And it's blocked. Somebody got a hand on it. 11:24 to play. The Browns are going to get the football.
That unit has been having their problems today. Gissinger the center, Luther the holder, and Bernushka the kicker. It's such an important part of the game, and those three guys are so important. And I think that was a low kick. And that hurt him.
Back with more in a moment. Well, we've got Baltimore and Chicago in the American League, and looks like maybe Philadelphia and L.A. The League Championship Series, you'll see it here on NBC. On 1st and 10, Sipe gets it out to Walker. Walker's at the 25, out to the 30, to the 31-yard line, and a first down. Woody Lowe, number 51, making the tackle. Danny Walters, number 23, also there. Take a look at this from the end zone as Brian Sipe is trying to rally his club.
This is that short screen that's been working so effectively for both teams today. And that is, like we said before, because they're trying to put on a pass rush. They're concerned about it, and so it leaves that area open. And if they execute it right, it's an easy way for them, at least it has been today, to pick up 10, 12 yards.
The Browns have been without Ricky Feature today, their fine wide receiver who has a thigh bruise. Here's another swing pass, and up on the far side is Dwight Walker. Walker was hit by Derry Nelson, number 55. Nelson now playing for Billy Ray Smith at one of the inside linebacker spots. Nelson right there from Nebraska. Waved for the Dallas Cowboys, a free agent. Nebraska won again yesterday. The Cornhuskers are really on a roll. That field goal block a short time ago, credited to Curtis Withers, the 5-year man from Mississippi, and it was the 6th of his career. 2nd down and 10 from the 31. Walker going to throw a pass way downfield, and it is intercepted. Ken Green coming back with it. No, but it'll be at the 15-yard line. They say he was down there. The pass was intended for Bobby Jones. It was Danny Walters who came away with it, number 23. There he is, Walters out of Arkansas, his 2nd interception of the season.
And it's not a bad throw. They were talking about Walters being able to do this. They said last week he picked out actually his 3rd primary receiver in a situation like this. He puts the ball up, and Danny Walters makes a great play on it.
Esther, you did send that.
First down at the 15-yard line for the Chargers. Walters making the interception. First turnover of the game moments ago. Fouts on first down, throwing and complete. Clarence Scott, number 22, wrapping Kellen Winslow right in the face as he took that one in.
San Diego receivers catch a lot of passes, but I'm telling you, they earn every penny they make here because they really pay for it. They are fearless receivers, and it isn't just one of them. It isn't just Wes Chandler. They all take those kind of shots, and the most amazing thing is that they stay healthy. I don't think Charlie Joyner's missed a game since he's been here.
We get word that Billy Ray Smith is okay. Nelson was playing for him. They are retaping an ankle. That's all. He is all right. Here's Fouts throwing on the sideline, complete. Charlie Joyner is out of bounds at the 45-yard line. First down, San Diego. Mike Whitwell, number 21, had the coverage, but another dandy catch for the Chargers. This time it was Joyner.
Well, this is the guy that Bill Walsh, the coach of the 49ers, says is the most intelligent and perceptive receiver the game has ever seen. And what he does, he just clears the first coverage and then gears down in that little empty dead spot. Fouts reads that and puts it right on the money.
Joyner coming into today, the 8th all-time receiver in the history of professional football. Played at Grambling. First down from the 45. Fouts throwing under pressure and almost intercepted. Intended for Joyner. He tried to force that one in there a little bit, and Hanford Dixon almost came away with it, number 29. Elvis Franks again getting in, as you saw Fouts getting up. He got knocked down. Dixon played at Southern Mississippi, had 4 interceptions in '82 to make the all-rookie team. We're not seeing much of Larry Brazil, the left corner, today. He has played sparingly, as Rod Perry has been placed over there, the 9-year veteran from Colorado. No injury as far as we know to Brazil.
Rod Perry was one of the all-time great man-to-man covermen while he was with the Rams, and this is an adjustment for him going back to Cleveland, and he said he likes it and he's getting used to it.
Hand off to Brooks. Brooks trying to find some running room. There isn't any. And some of the folks thought he was banged pretty hard out of bounds. Clay Matthews over there, number 57. They have 8:53 to play, Bob, and it's 24-21. At halftime, the Browns led 14-10. We had 14 points for the Chargers and 7 for the Browns in the third quarter. A scoreless fourth period to now. Chargers have allowed only 2 sacks, the best in the NFL, none today. Browns in a prevent defense on 3rd down and 11. The Chargers from their own 44-yard line. And pass for Brooks, and very close to being a lateral, but it was a forward pass that was dropped, so you can't pick it up. Cousineau putting the pressure on number 50. And for the first time this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to see Mr. Buford for the Chargers.
Well, Fouts had to throw that last one almost underhanded. You know, he avoided a sack that way. It's interesting, most teams face the Chargers with a 3-man front. The way the Raiders feel, and they've been pretty successful against the Chargers, that they can get to the passer is with a 4-man defensive line. So they forsake their usual defense, use the 4-man defensive line, stunt linebackers, and try to get to that pocket and attack it with Fouts in there.
Dino Hall set to receive the punt from Maury Buford. Hall at the 16, at the 20. In a crowd, he got to the 23-yard line. Hall was hit on the play by Deary Nelson, number 55, a 40-yard punt. And the Browns, Coach Sam Retigliano, down by 3 with 8.5 to play, have the ball. Next Tuesday, October 4th, stay with NBC for all the excitement of the American and National League Championship Series. Our coverage begins Tuesday night at 8, and that's Eastern Time at the home of the National League West Division winner. That looks like it might be L.A. Stay with us for all the great playoff action in both leagues. The best in the baseball world on NBC. Sipe on first down, throwing, and it is caught, and out of bounds was Bobby Jones. Jones might have been able to make that catch and stay in bounds, Bob, if the pass hadn't been quite as high.
Yeah, he really was you can't say that he wasn't aware of what he was doing. He made a valiant effort to try and get both feet down. We'll see the catch. He's very much aware of where he is. His problem is he has to go up in the air to get the ball. You see him lead, he has to jump. Now he's worried about getting both those feet back down. The 1 foot he can't get down in time. It was a good attempt, though. The
interception earlier by the Chargers, the 4th by the team this season. The delay, and nothing there for Mike Pruitt. Number 51, Woody Lowe, who's played a fine game. Today is Woody Lowe's 105th consecutive game. In his 8th year, a number 5 pick in '76. Played at Alabama. Woody Lowe. He's a good one.
He and Pruitt were doing a little dance there. They squared off. Pruitt was trying to fake him out, and Woody Lowe was trying to stay with him.
7 minutes and 55 seconds to play in this one. The Chargers leading 24-21, and 3rd down and 9 from the 24. Jones to the far side. Logan to the near side. That's Newsom going in motion. Brian Sipe steps up, throws, and it is caught. Oh, the catch by Logan for the first down at the 35-yard line. He just got his hands underneath that ball in time. First down for Cleveland. Now look again as Logan makes another big play.
Now let's take a look and see if he got it here. He did a great acting job even if he didn't. Yeah, he really did. He slid down. He knew where the ball was. He knew where the defensive back was coming from. He protected the ball by putting his back to the defensive back, went down and made the catch. It was a great key grab for them.
Coming to the 7-minute mark left to play. The Chargers leading 24-21. Brian Sipe pitches it back. Pruitt. Pruitt out of bounds. Penalty marker goes down. Andre Young in the secondary, number 49. Mike Green, number 58. Woody Lowe, 51, were all there. And the discussion, face mask against San Diego. That'll tack some yardage on for the Cleveland Browns. The Browns trying to get their record to 3-1. The Chargers trying to even their record at 2-2.
Face master, it happens so often, and usually it's not intentional. We'll hear it here.
Incidental face mask, number 49 on the defense. First down. It'll still be a first down.
Still first down, incidental contact.
Yeah, nobody really tries to do that, but you're trying to reach any part of that runner you can, try and stop him, and oftentimes your hand gets tangled up in his mask.
Now it's an opportunity to do a little bit of fooling around if you want. 1st and 4. Sipe throws complete at midfield. That's Ozzie Newsom again, and it's a first down. Bob Greger, number 43, made the tackle. Ozzie's had a splendid afternoon. Couple of baseball finals as Atlanta is still in it. 7-1 a final over Los Angeles. And Baltimore. I think that clinches for Baltimore, doesn't it? 5-1 over Milwaukee. So it's Baltimore and Chicago in the American League LCS. And we're still waiting on that torrid National League race in both divisions. 1st and 10 from the 47-yard line. Sipe throwing and completing down at the 42-yard line. It was Harry Holt, the rookie tight end from Arizona, number 81. Ken Green, number 28. Bob Dreger, number 43. Green playing for the injured Tim Fox at free safety.
Yeah, you know, we're getting single coverage on both Ozzie Newsome and Harry Holt. Bob Dreger, the safety, it's tough for a safety to cover man-to-man. They usually help, they usually support, they do a lot of other things, but to get Newsome or Harry Holt out there in that situation, it's ideal for Cleveland.
2nd down and 4. Going to be offsides called against the Chargers unless the Charger was pulled off. Offside, San Diego. Number 54, jumping in there, Billy Ray Smith. He's back in the game. We told you they took him out to get an ankle retape. Billy Ray, whose dad was a great star, of course, for 14 seasons with the Baltimore Colts.
Defense, number 54, 1st down.
Lou Holtz at Arkansas. His team was upset by Mississippi yesterday. Holtz said he's the best ever he coached, Billy Ray Smith.
Well, I guess you could call that one a rookie mistake. Sipe probably saw him up there and did a little nuance with his head there to pull him offside.
1st down at the 37. Trying to bang through there is Pruitt. Not much. Harry Johnson, number 79. Bill Elko, number 90. Now the Browns running the football and running the clock. 5 minutes and 10 seconds left to go. There is a theory that the Chargers always win if they get the ball last. I don't know if that's true or not, but it is 24-21. The Chargers lead it. Now 5 minutes to play. Sipe having quite a day. 21 out of 32 for 226 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's been sacked twice. 2nd down, 9. Over the middle, complete to the 31-yard line to Mike Pruitt, and Billy Ray Smith was right there to make the stop.
Tackled by Billy Ray Smith.
The ball is at the 31. They're on the skin portion of the baseball infield.
Pickup of 6 yards.
Clock running with 4 minutes and 20 seconds to play. They're sending in the signals to Sipe. They're going to have to hurry to get this play away, Bob. They only have 7 seconds. They're not going to get it away, I don't believe. 3, 2, he got it away. Sipe in trouble. Just got out of the grass, throws, and it is almost intercepted. Bobby Jones wants an interference call. Gil Byrd wanted the football, and Sipe was extremely fortunate to get the play away.
They sure were. Bobby Jones and Gil Byrd were fighting back there like cats and dogs. And that's where you get into that incidental contact rule.
We've got a penalty marker down, I see now. And it might go against the Browns. They were doing a little jumping to get the ball away in time. Woody Lowe talking to the officials, saying, "We're going to take the penalty, sir." Out to the 41.
Offensive holding, number 63, 3rd down.
Call goes against Cody Risen. That's the 3rd penalty. So it is now 3rd down and 14. This crowd coming to its feet. 3:52 to play. Browns spread out across the field. Sipe straight back. Blitz is on. Sipe got it away. And Ozzie Newsome's looking for an interference call. Bob Dreger was right there. Pass incomplete.
Well, here we can see they blitz both Billy Ray Smith and Lyndon King here, really put the heat on Sipe. He just gets rid of it, and Dreger makes a really good defensive play on Newsome. Newsom's trying to get a flag, but they didn't believe him on that one.
Gossett to do the punting. 3:48 to play as the drive of the Browns is stalled at the 40-yard line. The Chargers have nobody back to receive this punt. Angled to the far sideline and out of bounds at the 11-yard line. A fine punt on the part of Jeff Gossett. So the Chargers will start from their own 11, leading 24-21. First down for San Diego from the 11. The Raiders leading 20-0. The Jets winners, and we'll run down some other scores in a moment. That's Chuck Muncie. Muncie going straight again, hit by Bob Golick, number 79. And now the Chargers leading by 3. We'll try to run a little clock here.
Pick up of 3 yards.
Final, the Redskins 27-17 over Seattle in the Kingdome, and San Francisco by 4 over Atlanta this afternoon at Candlestick Park. Here it is 24-21 Chargers. 3:10 to go. Second down, 8. Fouts swinging it out. And that is Muncie, short of the first down. Clay Matthews, 57, and Mike Whitwell, 21, doing a good job. 2 minutes and 50 seconds left to play.
What was interesting on that last series when Cleveland had the ball, Jay, is that the fans here got a chance to cheer for San Diego's defense, which they don't get a chance to do too often. And, you know, it's such a psychological game that that defense has to start feeling like they're important and that they're good. And once they start playing with a little confidence, they have so many young people, I think you're going to see a much stronger San Diego team.
Third down and 2. Fouts under some pressure, throwing down the middle, and a great catch by Winslow, but there's a penalty marker down. Oh, what a great catch. Matthews and Whitwell were all over Winslow, but they might bring it back. They will bring it back. That's as fine a catch as I've ever seen by a guy double teamed with 2 people hanging all over him.
Yeah, you know, he can beat you in so many ways, and he can make so many kinds of catches, whether it's over the top or going down low for it. He's a very versatile tight end.
Well, the ball's going to go back inside the 10.
Offensive pass interference, number 80. Third down.
Call against Kellen Winslow. Let's see if we can see it. We pick it up late. Winslow is already downfield, and he must have pushed off against one of them on the way.
Well, you know, I would get a little upset, too, if I was Winslow. He's coming off the line. He's getting beaten by 2 different guys, so he probably got a little eager himself and pushed one of them out of the way to get into his route.
Joyner, Carr, Chandler, and Duckworth all in there. 4 wide receivers for Fouts. Third down and 11. Fouts has got time, lots of time. Steps out, coming upfield, and brought down from behind at the 10-yard line, and he is hurt. Number 72, Dave Pazzulli out of Pittsburgh. The All-American rookie was in there. And Fouts is coming off, and San Diego's going to have to give up the football with 2:07 to play. Fouts shaken up.
Dan starts to scramble. This is one thing that if they could ever possibly avoid, it's this. They would rather have him dump the ball, which he usually will. Here,
he did a good job.
it was a great defensive play by Cleveland.
2-minute warning now being given to both benches as Fouts is being attended to. 24-21, the Chargers. And right now, a timeout. Here comes another one of those fantastic finishes. Back at San Diego's Jack Murphy Stadium. 2 minutes to play, 24-21. This is Jay Randolph with Bob Chandler. Fouts has been attended to. Murray Buford out of Texas Tech to do the punting. Has the first sack of the day for the Cleveland Browns downfield. Dino Hall. Hall getting to the 43-yard line and spun down there. Dino Hall took it. And he was met on the play by Woody Lowe. What a game Woody's played. So the Browns could tie it with a touchdown. Missed an opportunity with 5 seconds left in the first half when they had a goal line situation inside the 1 and decided to go for the 6. Sam Rutigliano pacing the sidelines. Adams 80, Jones 89, Logan 85 are there as wide receivers. Sipe yelling out to his troops. Sipe straight back, throwing, nobody there. It looked like he wanted to go to Adams. Adams was cutting inside instead of going outside.
You know, I think what happened, and I'm just about sure of it, when Sipe was standing up at the line yelling out the audible, the crowd was making noise, and like we had talked about earlier, it's impossible for those receivers to hear occasionally. And so a lot of times the receiver will be running down the field trying to figure out by looking at everybody else what he's supposed to do. And I think that's where the miscommunication came up there on that route.
There's Sam Rutigliano talking things over. They're starting to chant defense, defense. Here come the Browns, 2nd and 10 at the Charger 43-yard line. And they're coming after Sipe. He throws, it's complete. There's Logan. Logan is to the 25-yard line and a first down. David Logan, who has had a splendid afternoon. Bob Greger, 43, made the tackle.
Pick up 18 yards on the play.
Logan runs an 18-yard hook here, and what happens, it's a real good throw by Sipe, but Miles McPherson, the defensive back, 24, right in the middle of your screen, he slipped there. It gave Logan the opportunity to come back towards Sipe and make the catch, which he does real well.
Logan, 7 receptions for 110 yards.
Big day for a big, slow guy. One of my lateral receivers, Joe.
1 minute to play and timeout called. Timeout called by the Chargers. The Chargers called the timeout. Now the Chargers have 2 timeouts remaining. The Browns have 3. Tonight on NBC, how dangerous is the food we eat? First Camera uncovers a deadly pesticide that's in everything from bread to baby food. This and more on First Camera. And then at 8, join Joan Rivers and Eddie Murphy for the glamour, the excitement, the disappointments. The 35th Annual Emmy Awards live tonight, right here on NBC. There is Matt Barr, the Penn Stater. Barr came over in a trade with San Francisco, the leading scorer the last 2 seasons for the Browns. He may have an opportunity to tie this one up and send it into overtime. The one thing now, Bob, that you don't want to do with the ball at the 25 is to lose it. You want to at least have the opportunity for the field goal that would tie it.
Right. They'll be very aware. They'll be telling, you know, when they get in the huddle, they're not only calling plays, but players are talking to each other. And that's one of the things that I'll guarantee you will be mentioned 2 or 3 times. Once by Sipe and one offensive lineman will say that, and that's to hold on to the ball.
Oh, here come the Browns. 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. And the handoff going to Dino Hall, who is in the game. Hall getting it down to the 23-yard line, and maybe they're playing just to run this clock down and get the tie and go into overtime. Bob Greger, number 43, Ray Preston, 52 on the tackle, and a timeout called. Timeout this time for the Browns.
Well, here we see when Dino Hall takes it on a sweep out there. Watch San Diego go for the ball. That's what's primary on their mind right now, too, is strip that ball from him. You see a lot of hands going in. They know they're going to stop the runner, but what they want is that ball to pop out of there.
Well, there is Matt Barr. It would be Paul McDonald who would hold for him. Another thing, as we've been looking here, of course, he will be kicking from the dirt portion of the infield again. Vanershka's had trouble there today, and it's not an easy item without a rubber tee to place that ball on, as the college youngsters have. It's very, very tough off that dirt.
It does really become a factor, because when the holder gets the ball, if the laces are not snapped back in the perfect position, which is headed toward the goalpost, then he has to spin that ball. And when you spin it on dirt, it slides off its position.
Of course, Barr has had a similar situation in Cleveland, the home of the Indians. And he probably has had an opportunity to work off the skinned-in field there on many occasions.
His brother, Chris Barr, kicks for the Raiders. They were both great soccer players in college, and both decided to play football, and both have done very well.
You have a feeling they're playing for the tie?
No, I don't think so.
All right, let's see.
I'm sticking with my Sam and his 7-point theory. He wants to win this game.
All right, let's see what they do now. 2nd down and 8. And they're going to go upstairs. And incomplete. Pass for Ozzie Newsome, thrown a little bit behind him, down at the 15-yard line. 45 seconds remaining, and the Browns will be facing 3rd and 8.
Sipe was looking downfield. He was trying to make the big play. They were going for the touchdown. Newsome had the first down yardage down on about the 12-yard line, and I think Brian was kind of just looking elsewhere.
He's not going to release that ball if there's a chance for it to be intercepted.
Right. See, he's looking elsewhere. At the last minute, he comes down to you. It'll be in your left-hand part of your, well, here it is, right there in the middle. And really didn't throw a good pass to Newsome there. They had the first down had they connected.
45 seconds left. 3rd and 8 from the 23. Sipe, 22 out of 38. 2 touchdowns. He's been sacked twice. And he's right back, throws, complete, and down the sideline and out of bounds at the 15-yard line. Fine play made by Ozzie Newsome as he was hit by Miles McPherson, number 24.
It's a great individual effort by Newsome. You're asking Bob Greger to cover him one-on-one. He did. It was a quick hitting pass. He had him fairly well covered, and Newsome did the rest on his own. Here we see Sipe looking for him. Hits him with a little quick flat pattern. Greger comes up, just can't quite make the stop, and Newsome regains his balance and picks up the first down, which is a big play for Cleveland.
39 seconds left in regulation time. Both clubs with 2 timeouts remaining. The ball just inside the 15-yard line. Going wide to the right is Bobby Jones. Logan is set to the left side. Pruitt behind Sipe. The delay to Pruitt. Pruitt's at the 10. And stop there. And they'll have to waste a timeout now. Woody Lowe, number 51, making the tackle. Browns timeout leaves them with 1. 33 seconds remaining to be played. Benershka got it started with a field goal at 10:02 of the first period from 37 to make it 3-0. Pruitt at 9:12 of the first period, scoring from the 1-yard line. 7-3 Cleveland. Then it was Barr with a field goal. It was Barr with the extra point. It was Newsome and Sipe combining on an 11-yard pass play. And with 6:35, or with 5:54 left, it was 14-3. 14-10 at halftime after Fouts hit Seaver for a 15-yarder. Then in the second half, Barr has kicked a field goal for Cleveland, and Fouts has thrown 2 passes to Chandler. We're 24-21, Chargers, 33 seconds left.
I don't think Cleveland wants to get a tie here. They have a great opportunity to score here. I think they're going to do it. I think we can expect to see them put the ball up twice. If they're not successful on either one of those, they still have a real good opportunity to tie the ball up. But they are in good position here. They would like to get out here with 7 points.
Jones to the far side. Logan to the near side. 2nd down and 6 at the 10. Sipe's arm was hit, incomplete. Just as he got the pass away, incomplete.
San Diego's come up with some big defensive plays today, and they've done it on situations where you wouldn't expect them to bring they brought Greger, the safety, on that. They blitzed Lowe, the linebacker. They really put some heat on Sipe. What that does is that leaves your secondary people covering man-to-man. But they managed to get to Sipe and they did what they had to do.
Larry Weaver is now the offensive coordinator, of course, for the Browns. He used to coach here. Now we have 3rd and 6. Sipe ready with Logan left. Jones right. Sipe with all kinds of time. Throws. Oh, he had a man, but he overthrew him. Austin was all alone under the goalpost. Penalty marker down.
We had a delay before the ball was snapped. We will penalize and we'll replay the 3rd down.
So Cleveland has another opportunity to score. Shadows engulfing that end zone down there, Bob. Is that a problem sometimes?
It really is, Jay. You know, down there when the sun starts setting and you pick up those shadows, it's not only hard down at ground level for Sipe to pick up some receivers, but as the ball travels through that shadow, from the sun to the shadow back into the sun, it's difficult to pick up at times.
A little like the pitchers and the hitters' problems when those shadows get in around home plate in Major League Baseball.
Anytime I dropped the ball, it was usually because of a shadow problem.
I'm sure it was. Yes, sir. Now the ball at the 15-yard line. A couple of deuces on the board. 22 seconds left to go.
The clock, the official clock, will be reset with 27 seconds
They're going to put
play.
the 5 seconds back
27
on.
seconds.
It was a delay of game call. They didn't get the play away, and well, they're going to reset everything up again, and the penalty puts it back to the 15-yard line. So the Browns down 24-21 with a chance still to win it. They don't want to cough it up. They want to have a chance to tie it and send it into overtime. Let's see. Here's Don Coryell along the sidelines. Jones is to the right. Logan to the left. Newsom comes in motion. Sipe straight back. Throws and incomplete. Intended for Logan. Coverage by Andre Young, number 49. And Matt Farr will come on to try and tie it up.
You see Andre Young, he really made a good play on Dave Logan there. It's tough to cover a wide receiver that's 6'6". He runs him on a corner route. Sipes tries to throw it at his back. He does it here. It's not a bad throw, but it's just good coverage by Andre Young.
Matt Farr will be the man. His first field goal effort of the day. Now timeout is called. They're going to let him think about it a little bit, a little gamesmanship as the Chargers call timeout. They're going to let Matt Farr think about it.
They have one remaining
This
in
is
this
such
half.
a psychological game. They like to give him that extra minute to have to sit there and wonder what could possibly happen. They like to think of some self-doubts creating in. There we see Tom Bass, the defensive coordinator of the Chargers. The Chargers have done a pretty good job defensively today. As much heat as they've taken over the weeks, they have gone up against a pretty good offense, and they haven't done too bad.
Don Coryell very upset. I think he's upset about that extra 5 seconds. If we get a shot of the defense of the Chargers, you're going to see one of their great offensive players in there, Kellen Winslow. Winslow, number 80, right there walking through. He is in there to block this field goal attempt.
He's what you call the designated jumper.
Also, Leroy Jones, the big pass rusher, who was re-signed this week. He's also in there. So the Chargers have got all their jumpers and Chargers in there.
You know what Winslow does here is he tries to time it right, and then it's just a matter of him giving up his body to try and make the block.
Matt Farr will try to tie it out of the hold of Paul McDonald. It's on the way, and it is good. With 18 seconds remaining to be played, Matt Farr has tied it at 24 all. Both teams have a timeout remaining. We have 18 seconds left to play.
That all started with the center. Tom DeLeone, he gave a good snap to Paul McDonald, placed it down. The laces were pointing forward, so there wasn't much of a spin there. And Matt Barr kicked it in. Here we go here. He's kicked 77 straight extra points.
Got a good hold, and you're well aware of how important that is. You were a holder in the National Football League.
I sure was, Jay. I held for a lot of kickers. I don't know what that says for the holder, but I had a lot of different kickers.
Well, it looks very much like we'll have an extra 15-minute period here, or start an extra 15-minute period. Bob, I had the pleasure of doing the first overtime game in the history of the National Football League, Denver and Pittsburgh. In Denver, and it went through the overtime period and stayed tied. I don't know whether that says anything for the new extra period rule or not, but it looks very much like we're going to have one overtime here.
You're not that old to have seen that, done that first
It hasn't been that long ago, my friend. Matt Barr, who has tied it with a 32-yarder, is set to kick off. Well, it's been quite a ball game, and we're tied up at 24.
See, Sam didn't need those three points at the end of the first half.
All right, I'll drop that. I'll drop that discussion at this point. Leave it up to the media in Cleveland to talk about it the rest of the week. Barr is ready, and the Chargers somewhat looking for an onside kick. Let's see if that is what they get. In fact, he booms it downfield. Going back down there to take it is Dwight Scales, number 87. Scales falls and almost lost the football, but he held on at the 21-yard line as he fell down. And 14 seconds left for the Chargers. And I would remind you, these Chargers sometimes have scored in a lot less than 14 seconds. They have one timeout remaining. Don Coryell, seen his club down, battle back to take the lead, tied here in the final seconds. And it looks like they're going to be satisfied to take the tie and go to overtime. That is the case.
It's such a risky area to try and throw and try and move down the field. If they make a mistake, then Cleveland is right back in it with a shot for a field goal. So they're going to take the tie and go into overtime and see what they can do.
24-24 at the end of regulation play. Now we will have,
That's the end of regulation.
is of course a very important toss of the coin because it determines possession. The immediate toss of the coin will come.
Immediately, and then there will be a 3-minute pause before we start the game.
Referee Bob Frederick indicating to you exactly what's going to happen. We will have the toss of the coin and then a 3-minute break.
Visitors, Cleveland in the brown jerseys, we'll call it. Which one of you men are going to call it? Which one? Call while it's in the air. Tails he called. And tails it is. Cleveland wins the toss. Come here. You make a decision. What do you wish to do with the toss?
Joe DeLamielleure. And he said, what do you wish to do with it? He says, I think we'll take the ball.
Joe D has always been lucky. That's why they had him make that call there.
DeLamielleure calling it, and the Browns will have the ball. We'll be right back after these messages from your local stations. The Jack Murphy Stadium in San Diego, where Cleveland and San Diego have played through regulation at a 24-all tie. The Browns led at halftime, 14-10. The Chargers went ahead after 3 periods of play, 24-21. Matt Barr tied the game in the final seconds on a 32-yard field goal. Sam Ritigliano and Don Coryell's clubs going into overtime. Both these teams have played 8 overtime games apiece in their histories. Both have identical records. They have won 5 and lost 3 in overtime.
I think Cleveland has a lot going for them right now. They just finished putting together a pretty good drive with some big plays, and Matt Barr just kicked a field goal. So if the situation comes up and they can move down the field, which they've decided to, they won the toss, they're going to receive. So if they can get into the position again, it's not like it's a totally first-time experience today. So I think it could be a big aid for them if they get back down the field.
Better than 49,000 fans at a sellout here. They had 3,135 no-shows, but better than 49,400 watching. And we go into overtime here. There's a good look at Jack Murphy Stadium. Used to be San Diego Stadium, renamed for a marvelous man, sports writer here in the community for many years, the late Jack Murphy.
It'll be an interesting time for San Diego's defense. They want to continue playing that pressure defense with stunning linebackers and blitzing defensive backs and putting pressure on Sipe. But if they make a mistake using that kind of gambling defense, it's going to cost them. So they may end up playing a little tighter to the vest here defensively.
They were on the field a long time in that fourth quarter. Time of possession much in favor of Cleveland in this game. The Chargers, Rolf Benerschke will start the overtime period. Downfield. Green, number 30. Walker, number 42. So here we go. Overtime. Sudden death or sudden victory, depending on your point of view, here in San Diego. Walker at the 10, 15, 20. Big hole opened up at the 30 to the outside. Oh, he came close to having only one man to beat for all of it. Walker getting it out to the 37-yard line. He was stopped by Duckworth, who was the only man along with one other that had a shot at him. Here it is.
Cleveland's special kickoff return team does a great job here. And Walker, if he gets by Duckworth right there, he's gone. Benerschke is the only one to make the tackle and really didn't have a great angle on him.
First down for Cleveland in overtime from their 37-yard line. Jones to the right in front of Miles McPherson, number 24.
You know, we can see it here on a replay. Sipe drops back. Logan's running that hook again. He's made some big third down catches today. You know, I'm sure they went to him in that situation because they're on the dirt. They have Miles McPherson trying to back up and come forward in that real slippery area. And the receiver, knowing where he's going, has the advantage there.
First down at the 47-yard line of the Chargers for the Browns. Overtime, score tied 24. Sipe with a lot of time, and it's complete. That's Holtz. Holtz at the 10, 5, touchdown, Cleveland wins it. The Cleveland Browns have beaten the San Diego Chargers as Brian Sipe goes to the rookie out of Arizona, Harry Holtz.
Harry Holt made a great individual play there. Hasn't been playing too much this year. They've been trying to work him in. He runs a corner route, beats his man. He had man-to-man coverage, and then took it in the rest of the 20 yards on just a great individual effort.
48 yards, Bob, right here, the biggest play of young Holt's career.
Once again, what eventually undoes San Diego is the fact they can't put any pressure on Sipe. Krager goes for the play. Actually, it wasn't too bad a coverage, but Harry Holt makes a great play and an individual effort here to get in.
We'll have some final thoughts as the Browns have won it in overtime when we come back.
Well, I was worried about my hair because I
just caught his first touchdown pass as a Cleveland Brown, and it wins it here 30-24. Bob, we'll look at it one more time. The big play, 48 yards.
Well, Harry Holt definitely earns the stripes on his jersey today. It is a big play. And the thing that impressed me most is that the Browns came out in this overtime period. They didn't play close to the vest. They kept it open, and they kept trying to attack. Sam Retigliano told us before the game that he was going to try and do that, and he stuck with that game plan, and it paid off for him.
So the Chargers are 1-3. The Browns are now 3-1, and this is a very big giant step for the Cleveland Browns to come in here and beat the Chargers this afternoon. Here are the final scores. New England over Pittsburgh. Kansas City was beaten by Miami. Dallas by 1 over New Orleans. 23-17, Cincinnati victorious. St. Louis behind the veteran Jim Hart got a win at Philadelphia. Buffalo 30-13 over Houston. Minnesota defeated Detroit 20-17. 22-19 Baltimore over Chicago in overtime. The Raiders winners over Denver this afternoon. And 24-17 the Jets leading the Rams. Washington over Seattle, San Francisco over at Atlanta. Now we invite you to stay tuned for First Camera, except for those of you on the West Coast who will see it in its regular time. And now, for Bob Chandler, Jay Randolph saying goodbye, and now this.
A promotional fee has been paid to NBC by United Airlines. We serve more of this land's top 100 business centers than any other airline. Fly the friendly skies.
This has been a presentation of NBC Sports, the leader in innovative sports television.
Tonight, first...
Trail boss on a cattle drive. You put in long days under the big sky.
You'll really double your pleasure with Double Mint Gum, because it's double good, double fresh, double smooth, always double delicious to chew.
Double good, double Mint Gum. Double your pleasure with Double Mint Gum.
To lose weight, you have to control your appetite, and nothing works harder than extra-strength Dexatrim.
With Dexatrim, I didn't snack between meals, and I lost weight.
The extra-strength Dexatrim diet plan. You can't buy a stronger appetite control capsule without prescription. Dexatrim helps you eat less all day and lose weight.
Dexatrim made the difference for me. I ate less all day and lost weight.
Extra-strength Dexatrim. No appetite control capsule works harder to help you lose weight.
Rise and shine with AM Cleveland, weekdays at 9.
Turn to a star, turn to 3.
Different Strokes and Double Trouble will not be seen tonight in order to bring you the following special program. Cleveland Alive is sponsored in part by Revco Discount Drug Centers, where low everyday discount prices mean you'll get it for less.
The center of attention this spring is Randall Park Mall, with the best of everything you need for any occasion, and over 200 fine shops and 5 major department stores waiting to show you their spring colors, styles, and attention. At Randall Park Mall, the focus is on you, so not only will you look and feel your best, but you'll be the center of attention. Let spring come to life for you at Randall Park Mall.
The center of attention, Randall Park Mall.
Close by the chill of fresh and fragrant waters, where pools of light glow, there is a black tower. Black Tower.
The imported white wine in the black bottle. Delicate flavor flows from each tall bottle, a clear golden color catching the brilliance of light. And every delightful glass becomes a superbly refreshing new pleasure. Black Tower, the white wine in the black bottle.
So here's today's shopping list. Cough syrup for the twins. They've been home for 3 days now. A rawhide bone for Bowser, his 5th this month. And a card for your mother-in-law's birthday, which was yesterday. There's only one place to go. Revco, the drugstore that pioneered discount pricing, has just lowered prices on over 3,000 products, including the brand names you want most. You'll find the lowest possible discount prices on cold remedies, pet supplies, even belated birthday cards.
Revco, leading the way with savings again.
Welcome back to Cleveland Alive. You know, there's an old saying that what goes around comes around, and music is no exception. Dale Solly found a sound that is vaguely familiar to those of us old enough to remember.
You're giving secrets away here.
No, am I?
Remember how it started?
Oh, yeah.
Little finger pop,
Oh, yeah.
the bass, no instruments, just the singing. It is called doo-wop music. It is, as you so aptly pointed out, the music of the 50s and 60s for those of us who were old enough to remember that sort of thing. Now it is hotter than ever, and Cleveland played a big part in it.
Baby, don't you let your dog bite.
Here you go, boo. I'm watching you.
Got to have your love. I can't live without your love. Honey, honey, come back home to me.
Listen to that. The bass part that stands out, and the shabop background that doesn't make a lot of sense, but still makes you tap your feet. Plain and simple, it is called doo-wop, here at the hands of Frankie Lyman and the Teenagers, but sung and re-sung over the years by thousands of singers in thousands of groups. Doo-wop started in the blackest sections of America's biggest cities, but then white groups caught it and learned it, and it spread like wildfire.
When you had a rock and roll show, that's what you had. You had a headliner, but this is what the people went to see. That basic harmony. You take away the musical instruments, the a cappella is there, and it's so entertaining just to be able to watch those people sing and the way they can put it together. Cleveland is really where Alan Freed, who really popularized this music. Had it not been for Alan Freed, there would, in my opinion, be no doo-wop. He took the music, he tested it here in Cleveland. The late Leo Mintz at Record Rendezvous gave him the records. They were the black performance. He was playing them on the radio station. He was playing the Clovers and the Dominoes. And there was one of the best songs of all time that was recorded in Cleveland called Lamorama Ding Dong by the group called the Edsels in